Well, with that spooky harmony floating in the background, we say welcome to this wonderful morning's episode of Power Solutions. I've talked a lot about the show already, so we just get into it. Every weekday, Monday specifically, at this time, we bring you conversations around the power sector from a perspective of providing solutions. And I'm glad to have a co-host on this show, one man who's more than passionate about getting it right as far as power is concerned on the African continent, Nigeria specifically. And I'm sure if he has the opportunity, he would kind of like light up the whole world at once. Good morning, Dr. Wiebe, Boer.
Good morning, Collins. But you know, most of the rest of the world is already lit up.
Yeah,
so it's only Nigeria and Africa who have the problem. Yeah,
I forgot that for a moment. Oh, NEPA, no bring light. So that's why the gentleman sang that song.
Yeah, no, I mean, in most countries, people don't even know what the name of the utility is, the power utility. They don't know what a KVA is. They don't know what Genco, none of that. They just turn on their lights, turn them off, pay the bill, finish. Yeah.
Are we ever going to get there?
Yes, we will.
Okay, I love that sound. We have another special guest today, and I'm excited about this guest because it's a lady.
Yes.
Don't hate, just appreciate. And secondly, the topic is very, very welcoming. Yeah. We're talking about those playing in the field and who are females, right? Tell us more.
Yeah, no. So, look, we as I think it's really important for people to note that there are a lot of women who are taking a leadership role on the solution side of the power sector. I think we men messed it up for decades, so now it's the women's turn to fix it.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And so one of the leaders in the field, who's the co-founder of ASHDAM Solar Company Limited, her name is Damilola Asaleye, and she's joining us from Ibadan. And so she's the co-founder of this company, the chief operating officer, and she's going to talk to us today about some of the work that they do. So Damilola, thank you for coming on. How are things in Ibadan?
Hi, well, good morning. Ibadan is fine.
All right.
Ibadan is great. Thank you.
All right. Good. So look, let's kick off with tell us a little bit about your own background and how you ended up in the solar space.
Okay, so my name is Damilola Asaleye, and my educational background, or my background and professional background, is mainly physics and solar energy. So I have a BSc degree in physics with solar energy. I have an MSc degree in physics with focus on atmospheric physics and meteorology. And I am currently concluding my PhD in energy engineering. So that's kind of my professional background. And out of my professional background and educational background, I am a mother of three. And I like watching action movies at my free time.
Wow, but you heard all that grammar about degrees.
Yes,
how many
man.
degrees? Like, she's way more qualified to do the show than any of us.
I mean, I feel like
let's just go and let her tell people.
I mean, but that's a lot.
Yeah.
But let me shock you a bit, Wiebe, because people may just look at it. Maybe it's like by chance that I'm on this show. Maybe because I'm here. But I remember many years ago. I mean, I know of this ASHDAM Solar many years ago.
Okay.
Yes, I think I worked in Ibadan some years ago, and I know when this particular guest of ours was talking about solar, when nobody
really
even thought that solar would be a thing at a time.
Oh,
I mean, yes, I can say that for sure.
Oh, wow, okay.
I'm sure she'll be shocked right now, but that's true. I mean, some years ago, I remember talking about solar with you. I mean, some years ago, and I must say you've been. So tell us more about how your journey of renewable energy started. I have a bit of the time when you're talking about solar, when people were like, "What's this one talking about? Solar bao." So tell us more about, you know what I'm talking about. So tell us more about that and how you co-founded ASHDAM Solar.
Okay, so several years ago, maybe around 1999, thereabouts,
wow.
I lost a particular member of my family to fossil fuel explosion. Somebody bought the fossil fuel during the time when there was scarcity and kept it at our kitchen back door. And she didn't know. She went to the kitchen, switched on a stove, and wow, she died. And she even had a very young baby at that time. So then I was like 13 years old. Thereabout, and I was thinking, I never even knew about solar energy or renewable energy, but it brought out a curiosity in me that why are we so dependent on fossil fuel, and there's always scarcity, people are always queuing up to buy petrol for their lights, the generators. So that brought out a curiosity in me at that young age. So when I wanted to go to university and I saw a course that was like physics with solar energy, I was like, yes, this is what I wanted to do. So that was how the journey to renewable energy started for me. And even while I was in the university, I was very, very active about finding solutions to renewable energy. I was doing projects that even the lecturers were amazed at the projects that I was doing in renewable energy space. So that was how the journey started. And immediately after graduating from university, I co-founded ASHDAM Solar with my partner. We were in university together, and we co-founded ASHDAM Solar at that time, like immediately after we graduated. We didn't even wait for anything. So, and it was due to our passion in school that some lecturers saw what we were doing. So they actually gave us the first job that we're like, now you're out, what do you want to do? We're like, we want to start a company. And they were like, okay, we'll refer you for some jobs. And they gave us our first job. Wow. So that was how the journey started. Then, so finished university 2006, 2007, finished NYC, and we founded ASHDAM Solar immediately in 2007. So that was how the journey started. That will tell you that the journey was very tough then. It wasn't easy. People does not know about solar energy, but I believe we're going to talk more about that because of this interview. So I'll wait till then. So
Damilola, I didn't realize you were so famous that even the famous radio personality Collins Teke knows of you and knows you. So this is great. So, but and I think
yes, then.
Yeah, go ahead.
At that time, we were doing a program on my father's he had a program then that he was hosting on radio station, a particular radio station, and I was given that opportunity to like educate people on solar energy, telling people what solar energy is, because very few people knew about solar energy then. So we were telling them about power from the sun, what they can use the sun for, the ones we have been doing. Educating people generally on renewable energy and solar energy is even at 2007, 2008, thereabouts.
Wow. So we thought Power Solutions was innovative. You guys were doing it 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
All right. So listen, in 2017, you're recognized as one of the foremost women in renewable energy in Nigeria by the Environment magazine. How did this recognition change you personally? Or professionally? Did it help raise your profile? What did it do for you?
Yes, it definitely helped raise my profile, and it also validated that what I have been doing for several years, that people are noticing that even though we were doing it at our own pace, that like our own local things, and really we're not even looking out for recognition, and we just started getting the recognition. So it validated what we're doing, and it also made me to want to do more, because then I was like, yes, I want to have more impact, and I want people to see that, yes, women are actually there, and we are doing it. We are capable of doing it also. So it improved me professionally. It also improved our global presence. People got to know more about what I am doing personally and what ASHDAM Solar is also doing. So it helps us a lot.
All right, good. What are some of the major milestones ASHDAM Solar has achieved, since 2007?
Okay, so I would say the first milestone, which was a major one, was our first job. Okay. Because it's like, getting the first job is the greatest milestone, I would say. And that was it was a 500 watt solar system, but it was a good milestone for us, because with that we were able to validate what we have been thinking for a very long time, even before entering university and while I was in university. And with that, we were able to even register a company, register ASHDAM Solar then in 2007 with that job. We were able to get some equipment, and we were able to see that, yes, people are ready to trust in us, in what we are doing as a company. So that was our first major milestone. So since then, I would say we've had a couple of installations ourselves. Every installation done and every power that we bring to people is a milestone for us, because it brings joy. It brings the dependability of electricity, access to clean energy. So every of our installations is a milestone for us. But another, I would say, some that I can bring out is, say, a solar carport that we installed in University of Ibadan. and it powers the ordinary department, and it's an upgrade system. So that was a milestone 2019, or another milestone, but because I've said every of our installations, every of our jobs are milestones. Bringing access to everybody is a milestone for us. And another milestone is we trained 400 girls in 2018.
Wow.
On green technology. We do a lot of training on women and girls training, but 400 girls at once was a very, very major milestone for us, because we had to do the planning very well. We had to collaborate with other organizations. We had to make sure that these girls, they're not just giving them information and they're not understanding the information. So having the all of 400 girls at once, and for us to be able to implement that project successfully, it was a 2-week summer camp for the girls. And it was a very, very major milestone for us. And also seeing what these girls started doing after the camp in the renewable energy space at their own level, becoming advocates for climate change, becoming advocates for green technologies. Seeing the girls talking actually brings joy to my mind, to me. So these are some of our milestones at ASHDAM Solar.
Wow. Okay. So listen, we understand that you've also faced personally gender discrimination in the sector. Can you just tell us a little bit about that? And then I understand that this girls initiative you talked about was part of your response. But is there like a broader response where you and other women leaders in the industry kind of come together to tackle this issue?
Yeah. So when we started the organization, even up to now, people always tell us that, or tell me personally, that I want to speak to the man in charge. Are you technically oriented? Can you give me answers? And that actually brought out that was the reason why I founded an NGO that is focused on solving this and focused on grooming girls. Because a lot of people believe women that we can't do this. And we are doing it. There are women in the space if we are given that opportunity. So because of that, we have programs, like we have one that is called the Solar Queen Technical Training Scholarship, where we empower women to be solar installers and solar entrepreneurs. We also have this Green Tech Girls Summer Camp, where we empower young girls, because we believe it's when girls are young, or not even girls only, when everybody is young, that is when you started dreaming of what you want to become. So we have to lay a good foundation for them, for girls, and even and boys generally. So we have to lay a good foundation for them. So for the Green Tech Girls, we teach and train girls right from secondary school. We introduce them to renewable energy technology. We introduce them to environmental sustainability. We let them know about climate change. We let them know about how to groom their environment and how to be sustainable. So that is for the Green Tech Girls. And then we also have the school outreach program that we do. We go to schools, and girls' schools to be precise, and we train girls at this school through clubs and through programs that will make them to love renewable energy, even right from a very, very young age. So these are some of our responses and my responses to the gender discrimination that I felt, because if I'm feeling this and people are always discriminating that I want to speak with the man in charge, then I should be able to showcase and tell them, and other women too should be able to showcase and tell them that, yes, women can be in the renewable energy industry, and if we are there, we can do it, and we are doing it right. So that's it.
So just a quick follow-on before Collins jumps in. Do you find that the gender issue is improving? Like, do you get less of that now? You know, now that, I mean, there's a growing number of women CEOs in this sector. Your namesake, Damilola Asaleye, is now basically the top person in the whole world for energy access. So is it changing, or do you still have the same thing that they come in and say, oh, where's the guy? Who are you?
I would say it's changing, but I still have that, where's the guy? I have it it's changing, it's improving, but I still have it. People still tell me, can you answer my questions technically? They still tell my team members that are women when they go out that they want to speak with the man, that they want the man to come and do the installation for them. But it's getting better than it used to be. Because now we are showcasing, and there are programs that are also showcasing women And women are there. When we do it fine. It's not say we are not doing it the right way. We even put in more effort to make sure that we don't do the wrong thing, so that people will say, yes, this woman is because it's a woman. Because we get that a lot. It's because it's a woman. That's why you are not doing it right. So we are trying to, and we are doing it. We are making it. We are putting our best in everything that we do.
Okay. All right, great. If
it's
you just
getting better. It's getting better.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, if you're just joining us, we are having a conversation on Power Solutions on ensuring gender inclusion in the renewable energy industry. And our guest is the co-founder of ASHDAM and Chief Operating Officer of ASHDAM Solar, in person of Damilola Asaleye. And of course, she's answered a lot of questions. And my next is still within the ambit of what our topic is, which has to do with gender. Now, in your view, I know Wiebe asked you that question earlier, but I would like to, really hear about it because that's our focus here. In your view, where are we now, currently, on gender inclusion? For the sector, specifically for the sector. And what are some of the suggestions, to improve? I know Wiebe was trying to probe if there's been an improvement. He really wished that he wants that there should be more improvements. We all want that. So what suggestions would you give?
Yeah.
What suggestion would you give regarding that aspect?
Okay, so my suggestions as regard that aspect is that we have to be more strategic when we are designing programs. Strategic about having a gender inclusive program. We have to make sure that there is a space that the women can fit in. And also the men should be more welcoming. Some men do tell me personally that, why are you doing women-focused programs? Do you want to push the men away? And I always tell them, this is gender inclusion. It is for men and women. Mm-hmm. So the men should be welcoming for women to come in. They shouldn't be strict and say, no, the woman can't do this. If the woman is willing to do it, give her the opportunity to do it. So we have to be more strategic. If a woman is willing to do a program, a woman is willing to do something, then let her do it. And then we should groom girls at a young age, which I've already spoken about. Mm-hmm. And then we should also have, the renewable energy companies should have enabling environment for women to strive in. Mm. So we should have enabling environments. Our policies should have enabling environments that will be enabling for both men and also women. We shouldn't have just policies that are welcoming and enabling for men only. We should think about both genders when we are having programs and policies in every of our programs. We should think of both men and the women. We should think this program, this strategy that I'm implementing, is it only going to be favorable for men? How am I going to make this program more enabling to allow more women to come into the program? So that is going to be my advice for this.
Okay. All right. So Damilola, we're going to switch gears a little bit. So we understand that ASHDAM Solar is one of the winners of the 2020 Nigeria Off-Grid Energy Challenge, which means you have $100,000 of investment and grant money to grow the business. So congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So just tell us about this. How did you hear about it? I mean, what was the application process like, and what does it mean for your business?
Yep.
Yeah, so it means...
And just to be clear, $100,000, not Naira, $100,000.
Man, we need some shekels for that again.
Okay. That one is...
Please, distance. How did you hear?
We have to watch this one.
It means...
You didn't hear Dr. Wiebe. He said, well, see, yeah, he said, we have to watch this one. I mean, the reaction was epic.
All right.
So let's get it here. How did he hear about it?
Okay, so how we heard about the program is through the industry news. There's different channels in the industry, and through Twitter and Facebook. It's all over there right now. There is the next course is already on. So we heard it through social media and through our network in the industry. And then we decided to look for a community that needs access to energy. So this challenge is going to give us the opportunity to do what we love doing, bringing access to electricity for people. And the most important thing now is that it's going for a rural location. So we are going to be bringing access to a rural location that does not have the hope of having access to electricity. For several years, they've been fully dependent on fossil fuel. And remember, we started this journey because of what happened with fossil fuel. So this community has been 100% dependent on fossil fuel. But now they have the opportunity to move away from fossil fuel to clean energy and more affordable energy. So the fund is going to give us the opportunity to impact the life of a good and great community. And also, the fund is also going to give us access to be able to have more women implementing projects, because we are going to work towards having the implementation to involve half of women. We are not going to be working with only men. In my organization, we believe in gender inclusion. So we are going to be giving both the men and the women, and we're going to be strategic about it to make sure that women are also involved in the implementation of the project that we're going to be using the fund for. So that is part of it.
Okay.
So do you want me to continue?
Absolutely. I mean, really, our time is fast spent already for the moment. I was like, oh, come on, let's not end just yet.
At this time also, so I'm like, let me just...
Absolutely. We do have a number of questions for you. What is your advice to companies like you, Leah was talking about applying for the 2021 challenge? I know you already mentioned that it's already out there. So what would be your advice for companies like you to apply for the 2021 challenge?
So I am going to be telling them that they should look for innovative projects. They have to be innovative about anything they want to supply, they want to apply, they want to put in for the application. So it's not just only about powering a house, but there has to be innovation added to it. So they have to be innovative. And then the companies should also have good structures in place. Because I'll tell you, the due diligence process was a very, very tough and rigorous one. People just said it. It's $100,000 US, it's not naira. So you have to have good structures in place. And then you also have to have good records. You have to have good records that you can showcase to show that, yes, your organization can or is ready to be able to implement such programs. So these are some of the advice that I have for companies that are applied for the next program.
So yeah, just to add on that, to be clear, so the 2020 program is what they won from. So now the 2021 program is already on. The application window is open.
Oh, it's open already.
So anyone who has an off-grid energy company that wants to apply for this $100,000 of funding, and like Damilola said, you have to be really structured, you have to have an innovative project, and you have to be ready for a really strict due diligence process, because you don't give that kind of money just easily.
Just like that. It's not groundnuts.
Exactly. And so the application window is open. they can go to the usadf.gov website.
usadf.gov.
Yes.
Okay.
Or all-on.com, and then all the information will be there, or the social media. So
let me tell you, just follow Dr. Wiebe or follow me at Collins _ Teke.
Either one, yeah.
I posted this. I mean, you will get to give it a link if you really want to. And follow definitely. If you are listening and you got to hear about this and you're applying on Nigeria Info, also let us know so that we let. It'd be nice to hear that. I listened to it on radio and I went to apply and it worked.
Yeah,
so great. So Dami, we have to go. I mean, our time is fast spent already. Personally, I would like to say you are an amazing inspiration. I do know the story.
Thank you.
And I'm glad that, even though I didn't know that we still have this conversation today, but I'm glad that was there. The days that you so believed in this thing. And this is a proof that when you believe in something and stand by it and against all odds, I mean, everything was working against. Wiebe, I need to explain this better because Lagos is not Nigeria.
No, I'm from the north.
Of course. At that time, I'm telling you, at that time that this amazing lady and the partner were talking about ASHDAM Solar or Solar at all in Ibadan at that time where I was working, there wasn't anyone that I know of that had any thoughts of even thinking of going into that line.
So she was like John the Baptist.
I'm telling you, I could say that for sure.
Wow.
So that's persistence, and that has earned you today. It's greater heights for you, and that's my hope.
Yeah.
And I don't know where we might get to get all these guests. They all speak amazingly well.
So
that's it.
Damilola, I guess just to say something, I mean, it's clear because I was always wondering why does Collins actually know so much about the power space and about solar. I've never had to sit him down and educate anything. He knew all this stuff already. So now I know the secret. So you were his professor from 10 years ago.
10 years ago, I'm telling you. Because I first heard it from them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being a part. That's it, guys.
Thank you for having me.
Great, fantastic. So the show's over. Let's go home now, Wiebe.
All right.
Next week we have another guest, don't we?
You bet we have another guest. And Damilola, when this is all over, though, and you're in Lagos, you should come into the studio. Maybe you can co-host this with us.
Yes.
All right.
One of these days you come to the studio.
Yes, I'll do that.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great week, and thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Collins.
Have a great week. Bye.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely. So Wiebe, man, I mean, great stuff the program is doing, I must say, inspiring people. I'm hoping that more women have been inspired today.
Hopefully, yeah.
To get into the sector.
Yeah. And I think also for the men listening, don't have those gender assumptions, so that when you go to a solar company or even like Ikeja Disco, the CEO is now a woman. Right. So when you go there and you see the woman is in charge, don't say,
are you sure you know the technical aspects?
Because as you
this?
heard from Damilola, the degree she has is more than any man I know. And so I think as men also we have to take action, that when you see a woman in a position of seniority or like an engineer, and they're there to help you with your power problem, don't just start making assumptions. So we also have to do our part.
Absolutely have to do our part. And that's how we wrap up the show. And indeed, my time on radio here today. And it's been fun co-hosting this show today with Dr. Wiebe Boer for the first time in a while in the studio together.
Yeah. A couple of weeks.
A couple of weeks, right. Okay, you went to the big program. Yes, you went. Great, fantastic. So next week we'll be here again for another episode. I hope you join us then. Thank you, Wiebe.
All right. Thank you very much.
That's it. Big thanks to Tosin Akinride for producing the entire show. Well done on all our conversations and all our guests on the show today and all the callers. Gracias. Merci beaucoup. Nagode. God bless you. Bye for now. The news coming up right after this.
Nigeria Info, entertaining and informing Nigeria 24/7.
Nigeria Center for Disease Control on Thursday reported.